Hi again. I wanted to put all my tips for running sessions into one video. I've sort of sprinkled them through the other two videos, but thought I should consolidate them just for your ease. So when you're running sessions, try and pick a smallish room in your home that doesn't have a lot of other distractions. I know there's no perfect room in a house that's totally empty and the right size, so just pick the best one that you have for the experiment. We are interested in how dogs perform in their natural environment, so don't worry if you have some distractions in the house. I have some in the room I was demonstrating this in, so it will be just fine. The other thing is to prep your reinforcers ahead of time so that you have them all set. I would put them out on some sort of horizontal surface like this table so that you can easily access them and there's not a lot of delay between when the dog emits its final nose touch on the schedule and when you deliver the reinforcer. As you can see, this table is a little low for Yorick, so if I were to run this again, I would put them up higher or maybe put them back further on the table to make them a little less accessible. I would also recommend having your back to a vertical surface, and where I stood here was okay. It was okay, but it wasn't, I could have done better, so I could have moved to the side so the table's right behind me and he's less likely to go behind under the table, or maybe even better is right up against the wall. The reason for that is that prevents the dog from going behind you to engage in a nose touch. It makes all the behavior and action kind of happening out front of you. So it just makes it a little easier for the dog to learn, I think, because it's a little more of a constrained environment. The other is the nose touch that you'll be reinforcing contingent upon is any part of their muzzle touching any part of your hand, either back or front, and any part of their muzzle. So not just the tip of their nose, but the side of their nose would count as well. We also can't measure intention of a dog, so if you think your dog turned and swiped its nose across your hand, but you think, I don't think he meant to do it, I think he was just turning, we don't know what the dog intended to do. If it met that definition of a nose touch, then you will reinforce contingent upon it or bring your hand up and count it as a nose touch before representing your hand on a larger schedule. Do play the tone at the beginning of the session. Like I said, I didn't because it's on my phone and that is being used to record. But every time you start a new session, when you're dropping back to an FR1, play that tone just as sort of a discriminative stimulus that tells the dog, we are playing this game again. If your dog is really wandering around during that first time, you could call him just to get him engaged with you and then present your hand. But usually once the dog knows the game, they are ready to go. Try not to make eye contact with your dog, so pick a place on the ground or on the wall across from you that you can stare at so you're not cueing your dog by making eye contact in any way. And if you're doing this by yourself, especially the 20 trial criterion test, like I said, I would suggest putting a clock or your computer across the way so you can easily monitor time and you can see when the dog has not responded for 1 minute. And if the dog doesn't pass that criterion test the first time, don't worry. Train a little bit more, see if you can get it up to it. If it's really problematic and your dog is sort of consistently responding but is a really slow responder, let me know. We can see if we need to make adjustments on that. So far, the dogs we've tested have all met that, but you never know. It is easier with 2 people, especially when you get into the fixed ratio and progressive ratio schedule. As you saw when Yorick started wandering away on an FR10, I was trying to keep track of the time on my computer across the way and forgot how many nose touches he had emitted on our FR10. Maybe you'll be better at this than I am, but I find it's really easy to forget, am I on the first FR10 or the second FR10, and was that 4 or 5 nose touches, and how long has it been since the last one? So I would have a second person there. If it's hard to schedule a second person to be physically present, just let us know. We can use Skype and technology and help you out that way, using our technology for good. If you're able to record your sessions on a webcam, it would be great. As you saw, Yorick started moving around and spending more and more time not engaged in this test as the ratio increased, which is what we'd expect. If you are able to video your sessions, that would be great because we can go in and code those for sort of latency to respond and pick out some other fun metrics along with how many nose touches do they emit on, for certain types of reinforcers, how big of a schedule can be maintained on it, things like that. So we're asking everybody to do a minimum of 3 sessions with their dog on this test. If your data is really all over the place and your dog shows a lot of variability, we might ask you for a few more sessions to see if we can get a little more stability in there. And if you're having fun with this, and we hope you do, we hope you find it interesting to see how your dog performs on these tasks. After we sort of see stability in your data, which might, like I said, be just after three sessions, we can give you other conditions to run, different types of reinforcers or different magnitudes of reinforcers.